Hello everyone. Welcome back to day 19 of our 21 days English speaking challenge. I am Priyanka Chaudhary. It's amazing how far we have come together. We have been learning new vocabulary, improving our fluency, and most importantly, building confidence in our English speaking skills. Today, we are taking on one of the most interesting but sometimes challenging topics, discussing current events. This is such a great way to practice English because it helps you learn new words and stay updated on what's happening in the world. Plus, when you can speak confidently about global issues, it shows that you are not just learning a language, you are connecting with the world around you. So, for today's session, I'll be talking about two major events: the recent conflict between Israel and Iran, and the sad news of the passing of Ratan Tata, an iconic figure in Indian business and philanthropy. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Let's start with the conflict between Israel and Iran. This issue has been in the headlines for a long time, but it's been gaining more attention recently due to some worrying developments. At the core of this tension is the issue of Iran's nuclear program. Israel has long been concerned that Iran is trying to develop nuclear weapons, which would pose a direct threat to Israeli security. Over the past few weeks, there have been reports of Israeli airstrikes on Iranian targets in Syria, cyber attacks, and increasing diplomatic pressure from both sides. Iran, on the other hand, insists that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes like generating electricity and medical research. But Israel, supported by several other countries like the United States, argues that the risk is too high and they believe that Iran's intentions may not be as peaceful as they claim. This brings us to a broader issue in the Middle East. The Israel Iran conflict isn't just about these two nations, there are many other players involved. For example, the United States has been a strong foundation with Israel, while Russia has often sided with Iran on certain issues. The situation is very complex, with many countries indirectly involved, which makes finding a peaceful resolution even harder. Now, let's have a look at the vocabulary that I have used while speaking about the conflict between Israel and Iran. So, here I talked about nuclear program. So, this is a country's effort to develop nuclear technology which can be used for either peaceful purposes or weapons. And then I talked about cyber attack. This is actually an attempt by hackers to damage or destroy a computer system or network. So you can use these words when talking about international relations and conflicts. Another keyword here is diplomatic. Diplomacy refers to managing international relations through negotiation instead of military action. Even though tensions are high, there are still ongoing diplomatic efforts to resolve this conflict. Many countries are calling for dialogue and peace talks between Israel and Iran, but progress has been slow. So, what do you think? Can diplomacy solve this problem or will it continue to escalate? I encourage you to think about these questions and try to discuss them in English with a friend or in front of a mirror. Now, let's move on to a piece of news that has deeply affected many people, both in India and around the world: the recent passing of Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata was more than just a business leader. He was a visionary and a philanthropist who left a lasting legacy on India's industrial landscape. Ratan Tata was the chairman of Tata Sons, the holding company of the Tata Group, one of the largest and oldest business industry in India. Under his leadership, Tata Group grew into a global powerhouse with businesses in industries ranging from steel and automotive to software and hospitality. You might have heard of Tata Motors, Tata Steel, or Tata Consultancy Services. These are all part of the group that he helped build. But what really set Ratan Tata apart was not just his business ideas, but his deep sense of social responsibility. He was a man who believed that business should not only make profits but also give back to society. He was known for his humility and philanthropy, often donating to causes like education, healthcare, and rural development. For example, the Tata Trust under his leadership donated large sums of money to educational institutions, hospitals, and research centers across India. He also played a key role in expanding Tata Motors globally, including the famous acquisition of Jaguar and Land Rover in 2008, which put the Indian automotive industry on the global map. Now, let's have a look at some vocabulary that I used while speaking about Ratan Tata. The word is philanthropy. This is the act of donating money, resources, or time to help others, especially in the form of charitable work. And the next word is acquisition. This is the act of buying or obtaining another company or business. You can also use these words when discussing influential business figures or companies. Now, the passing of Ratan Tata marks the end of an era. He was a leader who was admired not only for his business success but also for his ethical values. In a world where many business leaders focus solely on profits, Ratan Tata showed us that you can succeed while still making a positive impact on society. His contributions to India's economic and social development are immeasurable, and his legacy will continue to inspire future generations. What's even more remarkable is how Ratan Tata continued to lead a simple life despite his immense wealth. He was known for his humility, never flaunting his success. This is something we can all learn from no matter how much we achieve. It's important to stay grounded and give back to the community. Think about using the words philanthropy, legacy, and humility in your own sentences. You can say something like Ratan Tata's legacy will live on through his philanthropic work, or his humility made him a respected leader around the world. Now, I have done my part of speaking on this topic, current events. Now it's your turn. And as we wrap up today's discussion, I want to emphasize the importance of staying informed. Knowing what's happening in the world helps you not only in conversations but also in understanding the bigger picture. Whether it's global conflicts like Israel-Iran situation or significant moments like the passing of influential leaders like Ratan Tata. Being aware of current events makes you a more engaged and thoughtful person. In English, discussing current events can be tricky, but it's a great way to expand your vocabulary and improve your fluency. You don't have to use complicated words, just focus on explaining the story in simple terms. It's all about practicing and gaining confidence in how you express yourself. And remember, the more you practice speaking about the news, the easier it becomes. So keep following the news, choose topics that interest you, and try to talk about them in English. Whether you do this with a friend, in front of a mirror, or in a video like this, it's a great way to improve. Now, that brings us to the end of today's session. Well done for sticking with me for this longer discussion on current events. I hope you found this session helpful and it inspires you to follow the news and practice talking about what's happening in the world. We only have a couple of days left in our 21 days English speaking challenge. So let's keep the momentum going. Tomorrow, we will dive into another exciting topic to sharpen your skills even further. As always, don't forget to practice. Whether it's discussing news, chatting with a friend, or simply recording yourself speaking. And of course, if you found this video informative and insightful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share it with someone who might benefit from this. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep speaking, and keep growing. Bye-bye.